News 46. Local coverage you can count on.
At Healthcare Partners Medical Group, our mission is to provide the highest quality of healthcare to each and every patient. With 5 locations in Pahrump, we are local doctors you know and trust. We want to thank you for choosing us. Quality care starts here.
NASA's Upper Atmosphere Research Satellite, or UARS, plunged to Earth early Saturday, but U.S. space officials don't know just where it hit. They thought the fiery fall was largely over water and the debris probably hurt no one. Officials are not aware of any reports of injuries or property damage. Most of the spacecraft was believed to have burned up. The bus-sized satellite first penetrated Earth's atmosphere somewhere over the Pacific Ocean, according to NASA and the U.S. Air Force's Joint Space Operations Center, but that doesn't necessarily mean it fell into the sea. NASA's earlier calculations had predicted that the 20-year-old former climate research satellite would fall over a 500-mile swath that could include land. The 2 government agencies said the 35-foot satellite fell sometime between 11:23 p.m. Eastern Time Friday and 1:09 a.m. Eastern Time on Saturday, but with no precise time or location. The Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics said the spacecraft entered the atmosphere around 12:15 a.m. on Saturday. He said much of the debris likely fell over the Pacific Ocean, though its trajectory suggests some of it could have fallen over more heavily populated areas in the U.S. and Canada. They say that pieces are falling off this flaming fireball, and some of it has enough momentum to go hundreds of miles. The last track for the satellite included Canada, starting north of Seattle, and then a large arc north, then south from there. The track continued through the Atlantic south towards Africa, but it was unlikely the satellite got that far if it started falling over the Pacific. They say that NASA was hoping for more details from the Air Force, which is responsible for tracking debris. But given where the satellite may have fallen, officials may never quite know precisely where it ended up. Some 26 pieces of satellite representing 1,200 pounds of heavy metal had been expected to rain down somewhere. The biggest surviving chunk should be no more than 300 pounds. The Upper Atmosphere Research Satellite is the biggest NASA spacecraft to crash back to Earth uncontrolled since the post-Apollo 75-ton Skylab space station and the more than 10-ton Pegasus 2 satellite, both in 1979. Russia's 135-ton Mir space station slammed through the atmosphere in 2001, but it was a controlled dive into the Pacific. Before UARS fell, no one had ever been hit by falling space junk, and NASA expected that that will not change. NASA put the chances that somewhere somebody on Earth would get hit would be in 1 in 3,200, but any one person's odds of being struck were estimated at 1 in 22 trillion, given there are 7 billion people on the planet. The satellite ran out of fuel and died in 2005. UARS was built and launched before NASA and other nations started new programs that prevent this type of uncontrolled crashes of satellites. I'm Deanna O'Donnell for News 46.